God says, stop everything for a single breath and read this. This message is for you, and only you. Don't try to skip this. Don't scroll past it like it's another notification. God is begging you to listen. Don't tell this to anyone. Keep it close to your heart. It's over for you if you skip. I know that sounds terrifying and raw, and that's on purpose, because what I am about to give you won't be heard inside casual noise. This is the secret word, the urgent command, the last chance ring on your life. Your miracle will begin in exactly 10 minutes after you finish reading this message. Yes, 10 minutes. Do not test me with doubts. Do not argue with timing. The only thing between you and that miracle is attention, full, reverent, focused attention. You must read every line as if your life depends on it, because in truth it does. This message is sealed for your ears. Receive it with trembling gratitude and obedient haste. Listen, I see the weight you carry. I have watched the nights you could not sleep because your heart was heavy with fear and regret. I have felt each tear you thought no one else could hear. I know the names you whisper into pillows, the prayers you say when you think no one sees, the bargains you make with the ceiling at 3 in the morning. I know the secret places in your mind where guilt sleeps, where shame has taken a home. But I am telling you now, those places are not permanent. The chains that held you are rusting. The doors that slammed shut on you are beginning to open. A change is coming so fast and so precise that you will not be able to say you were ready, because readiness is irrelevant when miracle meets moment. You must only be present. Do not let fear be louder than this message. Fear will whisper reasons for delay. You need to sleep, you need to prepare, you must tell someone first, you are unworthy, you will not be able to handle the blessing. Those are lies dressed in logic. Your miracle does not require your readiness, it requires your permission. Permission is simple. Say yes inside your chest. Say yes with your lips if you must. Say yes with your thoughts. Say yes with the small, stubborn decision to believe that something impossibly good is about to touch you. That permission opens the channel. 10 minutes. Say yes. You must do 3 small things immediately after you finish reading. Do them as if they are the most important rituals you will ever perform, because they are. First, inhale slowly and hold it for the count of 3. Exhale completely and whisper these words, I receive. Only those 2 words. Say them like you mean it. Say them like your life depends on what follows. Second, forgive, not the grand sweeping kind that takes a month, but the sharp, decisive kind. Think of one person, one moment, one exact wound you carry. Say their name silently if needed, and say, I release you. If the wound is yours, say, I forgive myself. This letting go is a key. Without it, the miracle is hindered by knots you keep tied. Third, perform a small act of kindness within the next hour, anything. A phone call to someone who needs to hear a voice, a message to a friend you haven't spoken to in months, dropping a coin in a cup for someone who is hungry, sending a text that says, "I'm thinking of you." These acts are not transactions, they are signals. They tell the universe, and tell yourself, that you are open to giving and receiving love, and miracles come on the wings of love. Now listen carefully. This miracle will not necessarily look like what you imagine. Miracles rarely arrive wearing the clothes you prepared for them. They come disguised. Sometimes the miracle arrives as a door you thought you had closed forever opening again. Sometimes it arrives as the sudden end of a struggle you have endured for years. Sometimes it arrives as a seed, a tiny, seemingly insignificant seed that will grow into the thing you've been asking for, if you water it patiently. The miracle may come as a message, a check, a reconciliation, a job, a healed body part, a child, the perfect stranger who will change your life, or a deep internal shift that makes everything else rearrange itself. Whatever shape it takes, it will be exactly what you need, not always what your anxious mind wants. Be ready to receive in whatever form it arrives. Hear this: in the next 10 minutes, pay attention to the small signs. An unexpected call, an urgent thought, a sudden knock, an email that appears like a comet, a person walking into your life as if on cue. Your miracle might be loud or it might be quiet. It might be a single sentence that rearranges your future. It might be a whisper you only recognize because you listened. Whatever it is, mark it. Keep a piece of paper near you for the next hour and write down anything that feels like a nudge. Do not dismiss coincidences. Coincidence is the language miracles sometimes use when they do not want to frighten you. You have been carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. Generational debts, promises you made to protect others, guilt that was assigned to you by circumstances, not true. God is not a ledger keeper collecting penalties on your life. He is a gardener uprooting the stones that choke growth. He wants your life to flourish. This miracle is not punishment, it is restoration. It is a surgical correction of an old wrong. The time for half measures and faded hope is over. This is a full return of what was stolen, a doubling of what you thought was finite, a restoration with interest that compounds in joy. There may be resistance. There may be voices that say, "This is too good to be true." To those voices answer, "I have waited, I have watched, and I have decided." Your past does not own your future. The worst that can happen is that the blessing is delayed, the best is everything you dared not dream. If your mind protests, place a gentle hand over your heart and feel the small steady rhythm there. That is your covenant. Hold on to it and breathe. Breathe faith into the place where fear has nested. Do not barter. Do not try to bargain with the process by promising half-heartedly and keeping the rest of your life the same. Miracles require a realignment of the heart. They come to those who demonstrate a willingness to change, to release the toxic cycles, to stop speaking words that bankrupt the soul. From this moment onward, begin to speak truth about yourself. Speak it aloud if you must. I am loved. I am worthy. I am capable. I am forgiven. Repeat that 100 times if it helps. Words shape reality, and your lips are instruments of formation. This is not about magical incantation, it is about renewing the inner architecture that welcomes grace. There are practical things you must do too. If you have been hiding from paperwork, sign it. If there is a message unanswered, answer it. If there's a place where you owe an apology, extend it sincerely. If there is a plan you abandoned because of fear, dust it off and take one small step toward it within the next 24 hours. Miracles amplify action. They do not substitute for it. Your part is willingness and movement, and the rest will come in celestial partnership. If sickness has spoken into your body, know this: your cells remember hope. I will not lie, not all things reverse overnight, but there will be a symptom of change. A pain will lessen, a test will read differently, a doctor will pause and say, "This is unexpected." Trust the subtle evidence. Celebrate small markers. Do not wait for a complete victory to rejoice. Celebrate the first sign that the tide has turned. Gratitude is the magnet that pulls more goodness into your orbit. If relationships are broken, understand the divine economy of restoration. Sometimes restoration is reconciliation, sometimes it is closure. Both are miracles. If reconciliation is possible and healthy, take the step. If closure is what you need for your soul to breathe, claim it. Do not cling to what harms you in the name of loyalty. Loyalty that costs your peace is not sacred, it is bondage. God is for relationships that heal, not for attachments that wound. Money will come, perhaps not in the envelope you expect or the name on your bank statement you'd like to see, but it will come. The pattern will shift. Opportunity will present itself in a way that aligns with your gifts. Be discerning, not desperate. Do not accept every offer that arrives, seek guidance and align with integrity. The abundance that arrives through a crooked path will not stand the test of time. God cares about the means, not only the ends. So receive provision and steward it wisely. Use the first portion to bless someone else. This is the law of circulation. When you freely give, you create a stream that returns larger than before. For those who have been waiting for a sign of direction, a job, relocation, next steps, here is clarity. Your compass point will appear as a pull, an inexplicable leaning. You will know it because your chest will relax when you think of it, and your mind will begin to arrange possibilities around it. Do not ignore that quiet magnetism. Act. Prepare. Make a list of 3 concrete steps you can take in the next week that lead you toward that direction. Simple steps compound into decisive movement. To the weary soul who thinks this message must be earned by suffering more, stop. Suffering does not increase your worthiness. You are not in a queue where the one who bleeds longest wins the prize. Grace is not proportional to pain. There is no additional suffering required to qualify for this miracle. Accept the gift. Stand and take it. If guilt whispers that you don't deserve it, answer loudly, I accept it anyway. You are not unworthy because you are human. You are chosen because love is unconstrained. You might wonder, why now? Why 10 minutes? Because divine timing is not random. Certain moments are pregnant with acceleration. 10 minutes is a test of your readiness to listen. Time compresses in portals of favor. A small decision made quickly can unlock a lifetime of consequence. This is not superstition, this is a demonstration that when the soul cooperates, heaven accelerates. So do not waste another second with cynical delay. 10 minutes. Say, I receive. Let go. Do one small act of kindness. There will be enemies, not literal demons wearing horns, but systems and people who will try to steal momentum. They will sow doubt, confront you with cold practicality, tell you to wait 3 months, to follow a conventional route. Some will even try to take credit when things change so they can be the hero in the story. Guard your peace. Keep your inner circle small for the next season. Let fewer voices in. Listen more to the quiet conviction inside you than to the loud consensus outside. Protect the miracle until it is strong enough to stand. You will know who to tell and when to tell them. For now, wrap this in prayer and quiet action. This is a summons to radical trust. Trust is not easy. It is a muscle that grows when exercised. Begin by trusting the small things. Trust that your breath will return after panic, that light follows a long night, that help often arrives disguised as an inconvenience that becomes an opening. Trust that God is not distracted. Trust that what was delayed was not denied, and that your waiting season is about to meet a rescue. If you have been asking for direction for someone else, a child, a parent, a friend, this message applies to them too, but in a different way. Pray now for that person. Speak their name into the quiet. Release them to the process. Miracles intended for others often pass through your hands. Your intercession will be a channel. Do not underestimate the power of a person willing to stand in the breach for another. Your word, your prayer, your willingness to be an instrument. First, expect friction. Doors will open, yes, but sometimes a hinge squeaks before it frees. Do not be startled by resistance that seems designed to test your resolve. When opportunity begins to form, something in your life will need shifting to make room. That shift might look like inconvenience, a late meeting, a delayed train, an awkward conversation. Name the inconvenience and treat it as a clearing wind. It is removing what blocks the blessing. Respond not with grumbling but with curiosity. Ask, what is this clearing space for? Then move into it. Second, keep a list. Not a long, ornate plan, a list of 3 non-negotiables you will not abandon when your life begins to change. These are small things that anchor your character: honesty with money, time with a person who matters, 10 minutes of silence each morning. When favor arrives, people and circumstances will pressure you to trade those anchors for convenience or applause. Do not trade them. Favor amplifies who you already are. It does not remake you into someone new. Anchor yourself so that when your boat rises, you do not float away from integrity. Third, cultivate curiosity over certainty. Humans love quick answers. The world will serve you many explanations for what happens. Some will be convenient, others will be distortions. Stay curious. Ask questions that open windows instead of closing doors. Why did this come now? Is better than, how did I deserve this? Curiosity keeps your heart teachable. Teachability preserves blessing. Fourth, protect your mouth. Words form worlds. When something good begins to happen, your tongue will itch to narrate every detail as proof. But remember, premature boasting invites envy and misunderstanding. Share with measured joy. Let your inner testimony ripen before you harvest it for public consumption. When the story is full and true, the fruit tastes better and lasts longer. Fifth, cultivate small rhythms of discipline. Discipline is not denial, it is a friend that carries you through expansion. If you are given a new responsibility or resource, do 3 modest, consistent practices with it for the next 30 days. Track them. The discipline you build now will determine whether the blessing multiplies or dissipates. The naive spendthrift loses favor quickly, the careful steward invites elongation. Sixth, watch those who return. In seasons of change, people from your past may reappear: lovers, partners, friends, business contacts. They may arrive humbly, or with old patterns. Allow re-entry only under new terms. Old wounds do not justify endless second chances unless real transformation is evident. Test the fruit. Actions reveal truth more reliably than promises. Seventh, practice the art of retelling your story to yourself differently. For years you may have rehearsed a narrative that made damage permanent. I always fail, I'm not the kind of person who gets lucky, this never works for me. Begin rewriting. Each morning, tell yourself one true thing that contradicts the old lie. Not grand fantasies, small truths. I tried again today, I made one good call, I reached out. These micro-truths rewire expectation and thus open you to receiving. Eighth, prepare an internal ledger of gratitude and evidence. Keep it simple, a small notebook or a notes app, and record 3 things each day that hint at change. They can be tiny: a calmer breath, a polite text from someone you feared losing, a small sum that arrives unexpectedly. Over time, this ledger becomes a compound interest of hope. When your faith wavers, read it. You will be strengthened. Ninth, be ready to act with speed when clarity comes. Miracles often present a narrow window that rewards quick, anchored action. If the door is 2 inches open, step through with confidence. Hesitation allows fear to gather companions. Quick action does not mean reckless action, it means decisive, informed, humble movement. Consult trusted counsel if you must, but do not let consultation become procrastination. 10th, tend to the relationships that will carry you forward. Every season of blessing has companions, those who will celebrate rightly, those who will counsel wisely, those who will carry practical burdens. If someone exists in your life who does not have the capacity to hold your newness without jealousy or sabotage, create gentle distance. This is not cruelty, it is conservation of the good. Surround yourself with at least 2 people who will tell you the truth and 2 who will simply pray with you without commentary. 11th, expect tests of character. The first gifts you receive will probe your humility. Will you use them to posture or to serve? Will you protect your values or sell them for approval? Each test is an invitation to pass into a larger version of yourself. Answer tests with gratitude and obedience. If you fail once, do not despair, repent quickly, learn, and return soberly to the path. 12th, when money arrives, use the first portion to bless. This is not ritual superstition, it is a formative practice. Giving first breaks the anxious pattern of hoarding and immediately aligns your heart with circulation. Give quietly, not loudly. Give to someone who will not be able to repay you. Let the act of giving be a secret between you and the sacred. 13th, do not weaponize prophetic language to control people's choices or outcomes. If you receive insight, a dream, a clarity, a sense of direction, offer it as an invitation, not an ultimatum. People's free will is real and sacred. Blessings that require coercion are counterfeit. Use spiritual language to uplift, not to manipulate. 14th, keep sacred what is sacred. There will be tempting corners where you can monetize your testimony or brand your suffering. You may be urged to convert every intimate moment into content. Be wise. Some things are meant for altar space, not platform space. Protect the holy private places that formed you. 15th, accept that disappointment may still appear, but do not let it rear out you. Some expectations will be unmet, some plans will fail. When they do, grieve honestly and quickly, then pivot. Failure is often a reroute, not a dead end. Ask, what lesson does this contain, and let the lesson refine you. 16th, remain attentive to your physical body. This is not a metaphor. Favor that arrives will require energy to steward. Rest well. Eat with respect. Move your body enough to keep circulation steady. When your body is calm and fueled, your mind discerns better and your spirit receives without panic. Do not sacrifice health on the altar of busyness. 17th, watch for symbolic confirmations. Sometimes the universe answers with simple symbols, a song that repeats, a particular phrase that appears, a recurring number. Do not fetishize them, but do note them. They can be gentle confirmations that you are on a track, like breadcrumbs that help you navigate when the path is dense. 18th, if you are tempted to rush back to old comforts, remember this: comforts can be costumes that conceal decay. Beauty is not mere ease. Seek the balance of rest and stretch. Rest replenishes, stretch grows capacity. If favor invites you into stretch, meet it with a steady heart. 19th, if you are a parent or guardian, include the younger ones in the small rituals of gratitude and giving. Children learn not by lecture but by watching how you steward blessing. Teach them to give, to speak truth, and to accept help with dignity. 20th, finally, keep returning to quiet. The loud world will offer many analyses. Quiet is where the soul is taught to recognize the voice that led you here. Schedule daily pockets of silence, 5 minutes if that is all you can manage. In that stillness you will find clarity, correction, and communion. Now, concrete actions to take in the next hour, not suggestions, but directives. Sit for 3 deep breaths and say, I receive. Again, write down one thing you are willing to release and tear that paper up. Send a single message of kindness or reconciliation. List 3 small steps you will take this week toward the thing that feels like your next yes. Do these things with intention. Do them like you mean to live differently. This continuation is not an addendum, it is part of the architecture. The miracle that is approaching needs a scaffold of discipline, humility, and practical love to become permanent. Build that scaffold now. Tend it daily. Protect it fiercely. Receive it gratefully. Serve it humbly.